Hey everybody and welcome back to some more Prison Architect. It is currently day 35 here in our prison. It's almost lunchtime and everybody is outside in the yard doing their thing. And since the end of last episode, I have done a little bit more planning around the prison, expanding out the medium security area, the maximum security area, and the minimum security area to accommodate for almost 500 prisoners. So essentially all I've done is add a bunch more cells to all of the sides, or I've planned for a bunch more cells to all of the wings of our prison, apart from minimum security, where I've also added a bit of space for what is going to be our new workshop eventually once we expand out our prison and do all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to rush in to building all of these cells just yet, because there are a couple of things that we need to deal with throughout our prison before we start looking into expanding out and trying to get that cell block E-grant of 500 prisoner capacity. The first of which is we should probably look into a couple of reform programs. If we go down to programs here, there are a bunch of programs down at the bottom that we haven't really looked into all too much, including the behavioral therapy, pharmacological treatment of drug addiction, and alcoholics group therapy. Now, the reason why I say we should get these is, first of all, we have a bunch of people waiting in queue. We got 32 people waiting for behavioral therapy, 44 for the drug addiction, and then 20 for the alcoholics group therapy. And right now, if we look at all of our prisoners, for example, if we look at all of those in minimum security, you can see that there are a bunch of people complaining about alcohol, a couple about food, a few about drugs, but there are a bunch of alcohol and drugs, and the behavior in our prison has not been the best up until now. It's been a little bit hit and miss recently. Apparently, over the last two episodes, both of the riots that we had have been caused by the lack of free time, because people in the comment section pointed out how whenever we took away the 6 hours of free time, that's when people started to riot. I don't know if that's like a consistent thing that's going to keep happening if we don't give them 6 hours of free time. I'm hoping now that the little 6-hour quest that we had over on the to-do list is gone, they're going to stop doing that, they're going to stop rioting. But if it does happen again, we might have to increase the amount of time that we give them that is free time. But for now, what I want to work on to start with here is some of those reform programs. So let's go down here, let's start all three of these. I think they might not have a room available. Let's hit play. It looks like the pharmacological treatment of drug addiction, led by a doctor in an infirmary. Session length is 1 hour. Each prisoner requires 1 medical bed. So it looks like that's going to take place in our medical bay over here, our infirmary. We should probably increase the size of this. I did mention it last episode, but we should definitely make this a bit bigger, both because we have had a lot of injuries recently which require people to use the infirmary, but also if we're going to be running the pharmacological treatment of drug addiction, we should, if we've got 37 people who want to take part, but right now I think we're limited by the number of medical beds that we have in our infirmary. We've only got 6, and I believe, yeah, we've only got 6 people who can take the course because of that. Then we've got the alcoholics group therapy. It says led by a psychologist in the common room, so I'm assuming that's just going to take place. I don't know where. Oh, it did highlight it there for me. Where is that going to take place? That's going to take place in medium security. I wonder if we start another one, is that going to take place? I didn't want to start another one of those, although I guess we could have 2 of those as well, because to be fair, our infirmary most of the time is not that busy. Obviously, it does go through its busy spells when we have like riots or people getting injured, and then it does fill up pretty quickly. But for the most part, these guys are just wandering backwards and forwards, not really doing a whole lot. So we'll come back to that. Behavioral therapy does seem to be missing a room. It says led by a psychologist in an office. Session length is 2 hours, and each prisoner requires a chair. So we might have to set up like a designated office somewhere in the prison just for the behavioral therapy. I'm assuming it doesn't take place in the office of our actual psychologist, but I could be wrong about that. What I did want to do just then is add another alcoholics group therapy session. Hopefully, one of those, I was hoping one would take place in a different common room, but it looks like that's not the case. However, I guess if we go to edit schedule, we might be able to change this. So, where is our alcoholics group therapy? We've got parole, workshop. I have no idea where this is. Spiritual guidance, alcoholics group right here. So we've got medium security. Can I drag that into minimum security? No teacher exists for this program, so we can. What if we move it there? Okay, so now we've staggered it a little bit so that we've got the one who is going to teach here. Who teaches this? It's taught by the psychologist again. Okay, so we might want to hire a couple more psychologists because we need one for the alcoholics group and one for the behavioral therapy. And what we've done here is we've staggered it a little bit so that the one psychologist that we have teaches medium security from 3 till 4, and then minimum security from 5 till 6. It looks like it takes place during work hours. I'm assuming that all of the apprenticeship programs and all of the the behavioral therapy programs, all the stuff like that, will all take place during that 4 hours of work time. So we might want to increase that to maybe 5 or 6 hours of work time if we do end up getting a lot of reform programs up and running. But for now, it's probably fine. We do have a lot of prisoners who don't have any form of jobs and don't have anywhere to go. We do have a bunch of people in the chapel right now, and we do have this objective underscore preacher conversion. And I'm still not sure if this is a bug. I think it is. But last episode, if you remember, at the end of last episode, we got a little pop-up from, I think it was the warden, telling us that one of our inmates had started preaching and that we would get a bunch of new prisoners who were like suddenly religious and wanted to use and spend time in the chapel. So we should probably look to increase the size of our chapel here and maybe run a few more spiritual guidance programs, possibly. Right now, I'm pretty sure we've got just the one running, but we've got 102 in queue. We have 102 people waiting to take this program, and only space for like, what, 12? We've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 spaces in the chapel at any given time. So it's going to take forever for the 102 people to get through that spiritual guidance program. So we definitely need to set up some more rooms. Now, I didn't really account for these new rooms in my new design plan. You can see most of the space is just kind of cells, but let's see here. So the first thing I'm going to work on is, I guess, setting up an office for the psychologist. So what I'm thinking here is we might extend out the top, like build a new building up here that's going to have probably a new infirmary. We might even end up moving the common room. Yeah, I think we should probably move the common room and the chapel from over here. I've mentioned it a few times. We'll probably leave these here, but reassign them to maximum security and then give a new area to medium security. So, now let's hit play so we can get some money rolling in, but we are making a ton of money, which is good, so we can probably afford to spend money on quite a bit of stuff here. We'll probably also end up moving that guard tower pretty soon here. Actually, before we start planning stuff out, or before we start putting stuff down, let's plan some stuff out. So we're going to have like a new building just off the end here. It's going to be kind of like the little building that we built down here for minimum security, but quite a bit bigger, because I also don't think that the building that we have over here for minimum security is quite big enough. Like, the common room's really small, the classroom's really small, the chapel's really small, and the workshop is fairly small, although it's not. It's fairly small in terms of workshops, but to be fair, we don't have that many people who are actually available to work in the workshop, so it's not that small in the grand scheme of things. But we're going to make this significantly bigger. I think that should be fine for the time being. We don't want to make it too big. We do want a fairly big chapel, but again, we don't want to make it too big. So, where do we want this to go through? Do we want to kind of demolish, like, this cell here and have a pathway that goes straight up there? That would probably make sense. It'd be in keeping with this kind of long corridor that we've got going all the way down here. That would make things a little bit annoying in terms of cells here, because we'd have to make, like, this cell a double wide cell. It would have been nice to do this before we made this cell on the end here, because then we could have pushed them all across by one and made them all individual cells. But I'm not going to redo all of these cells just to make way for this one corridor. What I'll probably just end up doing is making one bigger dormitory cell right there. And I did just notice that we are missing, like, this cell is not assigned as a cell. So let me quickly just assign that as a cell there. That should increase our capacity to 279, maybe. Did I just, wait, I just assigned that as a canteen. Let's make that a normal cell, like so. That should become a cell. There we go. And there's our capacity up to 279. Okay, cool. So, this is actually perfect, because what we can do right now is that we can go ahead and demolish all of the objects in this guy's cell and unassign this as an official cell, and hopefully that guy will just move over to the cell that we just created for him. We're also going to have to demolish all of the stuff in this cell as well, because we do need to get rid of this wall, which means this cell is not going to be enclosed, and it's not going to be a normal cell. We do need to demolish some walls. Let's get rid of these walls here and this wall here. And for the rest of the workmen who are not working on demolishing stuff, you can start working on this massive new block that we're going to have over here. If it ends up being too big or too small, we can always expand it to make room for more room. And we can always use any excess space for extra cells as well, because all of the planning that I've done does increase the capacity to almost 500, but not actually quite to 500. We have a little bit shy. I think about 480, 470 is the range that we're going to be in once we add all of these new cells. So that looks pretty good down there. So whilst they're working on building this over here, we can also actually start to demolish some of the stuff in the yard over here. You can't quite see it because I've planned over it, but since the end of last episode, the bug or whatever it was that was not allowing me to demolish stuff seems to have gone, and it's now allowing me to actually demolish all of these items. And one thing that we still haven't done so far into the series is start tapping phones, because all of the phone booths that we have in mostly all of the yards, like the minimum security, medium security, and hopefully in the maximum security soon, we will have phone booths. And what we can do in the security room is we can set up a phone tab that's going to allow us to actually listen in on those conversations and gain some extra intel on all of our prisoners without actually doing much extra work. We just have to assign one guard to listen in onto all of those phone conversations. So we're going to do that. We should probably also set up a door control system whilst we're at it. We'll put one of those, I guess, like right there next to the phone tab. And essentially what that's going to allow us to do is automate all of the doors within our prison. Because that's been one of the biggest problems that we've been having recently, is we've got so many doors, especially like these large jail doors that we kind of have scattered all over the place. We've got so many of those, and every time somebody like a cleaner or a janitor, or I guess those are the same thing, but every time like a cook or a janitor or even a prisoner tries to go through those doors, we have to have a guard go and open that door for them, and usually we don't have a guard patrol nearby. In this case we do, but if he's wandering like up here, it can take quite a while for him to come down, and it can just slow the whole process down of everything in the prison. And so if we set up this remote door control, we can actually have one guard in the security room control all the doors and open them remotely when people are actually allowed to go through those doors. So we'll set that up as well. We'll try and hook that up to all of our doors. We are going to have to install a couple of door servers, which I think are actually in utilities, yeah. So we do have to install door servers onto all of the doors that we're going to remote open, but that should be fine. It shouldn't cost too much money, and we are making 15,000 a day from our prison as well, which is pretty cool. So how are we doing on this new building block? Let's speed things up here. We'll jump up to speed 3. What is this? Why? Oh, I just built this here, didn't I? I was wondering why this didn't, like, connect up properly. We should probably dismantle this fence here. I'm not quite sure what happens if... Does it dismantle it for us? I'm assuming we dismantle... Like, I'm assuming when we put down that, like, command to build this area that it involved also demolishing the fence? Maybe? I think so. We do need to dismantle this. We'll get rid of that. We'll put an entrance to it, I guess right about here. We also need to put down foundation, not brick foundation. We want concrete foundation across there, like so. We're not going to have any kind of doors here, I don't think. For now, we're just going to go ahead and demolish this wall here and here. Hopefully my sniper tower... Oh, it's getting taken down. Hopefully nobody runs out. You know what? Oh, gosh. If somebody runs out while we open this, that could be bad. Although, hopefully our sniper is still in the sniper tower. Maybe? I've had this before where we tear these things down and then they get away. Now, they haven't taken down the fences, which is interesting. So, do I have to, like, manually... Oh, gosh, what's going on? Our goal for today... Oh, my gosh, what is going on in here? Jeez! I was gonna say, our goal for today is to have nobody die, because we have failed miserably at that goal over the past couple of episodes. So, our goal for today is have nobody die. So far, so good. What is up with the needs? It's food. Minimum, normal. They're all complaining about food. We changed the policy recently, so they eat twice a day. We've even increased the meal quantity and variety from low to medium, but we'll bump it up to high, I guess, and see if that has any impact. If it doesn't, I might end up bumping that back down to medium quality and trying to squeeze in an extra, like, meal in the middle of the day, possibly. What time is it right now? It's almost 7 p.m., so everyone's about to eat again, but apparently the medium breakfast that we served them didn't quite tide them over till that last meal of the day. Is there anything else that's kind of stand out in terms of... Oh my gosh, everyone is rioting. Family, recreation, exercise, hygiene, a couple of things there. Not all particularly bad. You can see most of it's going down. Minimum security, I'm pretty much happy for the most part, apart from that food thing. Medium security or normal security, I'm not too happy about most things. We don't really need more weights benches. They've got a ton of weights benches in their yard. One thing we should do, real quick here, is connect this up. I think I set this up. We've got this big empty space here because I wanted them to be able to walk straight through into the yard and then also straight through into the canteen without having to go through all these corridors over here. So let's quickly throw down a fence there and there. And then we're going to bulldoze this wall here and bulldoze this fence here. And I guess we're going to demolish some of these weights benches as well. We'll try and redistribute those to another part of the yard. But we do want to have this space here so they can all walk through and they don't have to cram down these corridors every time they want to get to the canteen. You see right now everyone's kind of rushing through this one set of metal detectors, which is not great. That does introduce, actually, now I mentioned metal detectors, that does introduce another way for prisoners to smuggle stuff in and out, which is not fantastic. So you know what? I think I'm going to have to put like a bit of a choke point here, because I don't want to have to put down 5 metal detectors, and I know if I just put down 1 or 2, they're not going to walk through it. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a concrete wall down there, and there, and we're going to try and spread them out a little bit, but we're going to have metal detectors there and there. That does kind of defeat the whole point of having this big wide open space here, but hopefully having that wide open space will still make it a little easier to funnel all the people through. They do have to go through all these metal detectors. Would it be better to change that? I'm thinking maybe it'd be better to actually do it more like this and have 3 metal detectors and 2 concrete walls instead of vice versa. Yeah, I think that might be better. That's going to allow more people to walk through at once, get into the yard, and then get into the canteen. It's also going to make it a little bit harder to take stuff out of the yard. Like right now, if they found something in the yard or maybe got something from the yard somehow, they would be able to sneak it through without passing through a metal detector. But for now, this should work fine. So we'll hook that up. Hopefully that works okay. Actually, does that work? We might have to put one down. Oh, no, that works. Power can pass through the metal detector itself. Okay, cool. That is fantastic. All right, so we got our new building up here. It seems that they did not demolish the fence, which is a little bit annoying. Let's go ahead and get rid of this planning here. So it looks like they've used the fence as the wall, which is not at all what I want to do. So let's go ahead and just go over this with concrete like so. We'll have that one all the way to there, and then from there, all the way to there. Okay, so how do I want this to look? So we want to have a new common room, a new chapel, a new infirmary, and then probably a couple of psychologist office for the new reform program. So let's see here. How wide is our current common room? Our current common room is, what, 6 wide by 6 deep. Now, the current common room it works well for the pews here. The good thing is that it can fit the pews in nice and evenly, but it doesn't fit in the chapel evenly, which is really annoying, because it means now when building the new chapel, I have to choose between an even number so that we can fit the pews in nicely, or an odd number so that we can fit the altar in nicely. I think we're going to go with the pews. So how wide are these? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think what we're going to try and do is we're going to have like a space along the wall here at the end. Let's go to objects. We're going to have like a space at the end. That's going to be an empty gap. Then we're going to have pew. Let's see. I'll go to objects, and then let's say pew, 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 which sounds like I'm trying to make like a really bad gun firing sound effect. But we'll have 4 pews. We'll have 1 pew, which takes up 4 spaces. Then we'll have like a 2-way gap, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 for the other pew, and then we'll have like another gap along the end here, like so. Does that fit a nice number of pews in? Actually, I think we can put pews. Yeah, we can kind of put them just like directly next to each other. So we can kind of do something like this and have it go all the way up to, I guess, about there. Maybe we'll go 1 further back. And I'm thinking we're going to put the altar like there. The altar looks something like that. And I think that's what that's going to look like. And we'll probably end up putting like a couple of prayer mats along there. And I think that's going to be what our chapel looks like. So let's go ahead and throw down the planning for the walls like that. A little bit of a gap all around just to make things a little bit easier. We might actually, now that I think about it, end up moving, like putting a gap at the end here as well, like having a gap there and moving the altar and the prayer mats forward like that, just to make it look a little bit nicer. That should work out just fine. Then as for the common room, I don't think it matters too much how big we make this. So how big have we made that? We made that 13. I think we'll do the same again. We'll go 13 like that, just to make it a little bit even. We'll do the same thing there. And then you know what? We'll do the exact same thing there. That is going to be our new infirmary. And then over here on the end, what I'm thinking is we'll probably change it up a little bit. So of course, we're going to have a pathway that kind of comes all the way along like this. I might have it just come to there, and then we'll put some offices here for the behavioral therapy and the Alcoholics Anonymous. So if we go to programs real quick, both behavioral therapy and the alcoholic group therapy are both run by the psychologist. And so what I think we're going to have to do is, first of all, hire a second psychologist, one that can work on the alcoholics group therapy, and then the second one that can work on behavioral therapy. But I don't think we're going to need multiple rooms. Like, we can have one room where... Do we need multiple rooms? We might need 2 rooms. We might need 1 room for alcoholic group therapy. Yeah, I think... Oh, no, this is in the common room. So I think we can just get away with having 1 office here. So what I'm thinking is we'll have 1 office. We'll make it fairly big, because I don't know quite how many people are going to try and get in here, but it does need to fit more than just the 1 person that a standard office does. And then I think what we'll do is we'll put, like, the shop maybe here. Now, if we go back, like, we haven't built a shop yet, which is surprising, but a shop, I think, does require, it needs to be adjacent to a shop front. So a shop can be 4x4, like that. So I'll make it 5x4. Now, it says that it has to be adjacent to room shop front. I'm not quite sure what that means because there is no room shop front. I don't think I've actually put down a shop, but we'll see if that works. Adjacent to room shop front. Is that like a different room? I don't think it is. We've got chapel, staff room, garbage workshop. No, there's nothing called shop front here. Let me know in the comment section if you know how that works. I don't think we'll end up putting that down this episode, but we'll end up putting down at the office. We'll reserve that space for a shop, and then we'll have like a really big common room so they can all go in here and actually have space, because we do have quite a lot of normal security prisoners. We've got 125 normal security prisoners who right now are trying to fit into this tiny common room. There isn't even space to use this pool table. They've got like 6 phone booths and like 12 chairs at best. So we definitely need to get a bigger common room up and running. Hopefully, this new little entranceway that we've created over here is going to help with the flow of people moving in and out there. Why do we have this guy, James Thomas 40, a maximum security prisoner, sat inside the wall of a normal security prison cell? Like, what is this about? Could somebody take this man back to maximum security, please? Maybe? No? Nobody? Alright, well, fine, I guess. Okay, let's start putting in some of our new buildings here. So we've got a new intake coming, that's fine, that's going to get us a nice amount of money. Let's go ahead and start putting all these walls in. We are going to have to put some lights in as well to brighten this place up just a little bit. So we'll do that. We will go to rooms, we'll allocate this as the chapel. Where is chapel on there? It's right there. That's going to be our new chapel. We're going to need a new common room. The common room is somewhere on there. I'm terrible at finding the rooms when I look at that full list. So we'll go common room like that, and then right here on the end we're going to have the new infirmary, which is going to go right about there. Do we want to have the infirmary there? My only thought is that I like having the infirmary accessible by everybody, but I think it might also be a fairly good idea to have an infirmary that is kind of wing specific. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Are we still having the problem down here with the showers? It doesn't look like we are yet. Let me check the regime real quick. It's currently like almost 8 a.m. They don't shower until 8 a.m. So right now it's free time and everyone's in the common room. So hopefully we don't see too many people in these showers up here. Now, somebody did say in the comment section that we shouldn't really have showers before or after eat time or yard time, because what ends up happening is kind of what's happening here. We've given them free time, and a lot of those prisoners have chosen to go out into the yard during that free time in the morning, and so all of the prisoners who are in the yard then try and go to the closest shower. The way that the AI works of the prisoners is they try and go to the closest shower that they can find, and for most of them, if they're in the yard, they go straight to the shower here, which is why you shouldn't have it near eat time or yard time, because if you have like a shower directly after everyone's eaten, they're all going to go to the same shower because they're all going to find the closest shower, and it's all going to be the same shower. So a few people have stayed like in their cell, like this one guy has stayed in his cell and has gone to this shower, but everybody, or most of the people, have ended up in this shower over here, which is a bit of a pain. I don't really know how we could fix that outside of not putting free time before the yard time. Like, you can see everyone's getting a little bit annoyed. Everyone wants family. Which should be happening pretty soon, I think. We just saw a bunch of people walk in. Yeah, they're all there. For now, I think it's fine, because if we get rid of that free time and we just send people straight to shower time, then these showers become overpacked, because everybody in kind of all of, I guess, like, some of these people here might even find this to be the closest shower, and so everyone will kind of group in this shower. And so I think until we get this new block up, and until we get a new shower here, and maybe even put in a shower up here and up here, until we do all that, I think having that free time beforehand and kind of overpopulating this shower should be fine. But it is something that we do need to keep an eye on to make sure that we don't, like, have a lot of riots like happening because of our showers. So we'll see how that works out. For now, flipping all of these guys. Look how many people got trapped in the shop. Flipping heck. All right. Objects. Let's put a door here. I think for the most part, most of these rooms can just have normal doors. So we'll put like a door there, a door there. The infirmary, does that one have a staff door? Probably. We don't want people stealing stuff out of the infirmary. So we'll put one of those, I guess there is the right place to put it. And then we'll also put a staff door here on what is going to be the office as well. And we should actually set that up to be an office. That flickering of those guys is really driving me insane. I'm gonna have to move away real quick here. We should do like a shakedown of a cell block search, because it's been quite a while and there is almost certainly going to be some tunnels somewhere. No! Someone died. What the heck? It can't be food this time, because it says 102 prisoners are well fed. So what is the problem? Needs? Family, recreation. Let me check here. So I'm assuming minimum security for the most part. Okay, and normal security. Yeah, they're not doing too great. And then maximum are doing even worse. They don't have any visitation or recreation or food. I'm not quite sure why the family need is so bad for medium security. We've got this visitation room up here. I guess maybe it's not enough free time? Possibly? Although I can't imagine that's the case. Maybe it's the phones. Like, what time is it right now? It is 11:30. We could probably do with some more yard time, now that I think about it. We might want to replace, and I mean yard time more spread out, because right now we've got 2 hours of yard time, but they're kind of very close together and in very short periods. So I'm thinking maybe if we give them like another hour there and maybe take away that shower and just have them shower once a day in the morning, and then throw down a bunch more of the phone booths out here in the yard. Also, all of our weights benches are full up here, so we should probably look into getting a few more of those. Also, I guess once we get the new common room up and running up here, we can put a bunch more in there as well. So you know what, we're going to line this back wall here with just a bunch of phone booths so that they can go and call their families if they feel the need to. And you know what, we'll put a bunch more here as well. We're going to try and quench that family need as much as possible. And we also want to put down some more of these wage benches, of which we have just a ton in storage. So let's go ahead and throw down a bunch of those down over on the side here. And then you know what, we'll even throw down like a couple over here as well, just to try and keep them as occupied as possible. There we go. There's so many of them there. And we did take down all the stuff over here, so we should really invest in some new stuff for maximum security as well. As much as annoying as they are, making trouble for me all the time, the more that we neglect them, the more annoying they become. So you know what, we're going to put down just a bunch of these over here. We're then going to throw down a couple of pool tables out here in the yard. We've got 3 in our inventory, so we'll go like 1, 2, and I guess like 3 like that. And we should probably also give these guys some phone booths as well, because I cannot imagine that their family need is going down anytime soon. That might be too many phone booths for our one phone tap here to actually be able to connect to, but we'll try this. Can we connect this to... Oh, do we have to do all these individually? Oh my gosh, this is going to take decades. Guys, this might actually take about 1,000 years. I don't know if there is a limit on the number of phones that you can tap. I'm assuming that there is, but there also might not be. I guess we'll find out. So we're going to try and connect all of these up as fast as I possibly can here. It's the middle of the day. As soon as night falls, I think we're going to do another shakedown, because it's been a while since we've done one, and we still have that mass tunneling objective on the thing there. So they're skipping through and scanning all of them individually. So I'm assuming that the more funds we have, the longer it takes to kind of rotate through them all. So it might be worth setting up more of those, especially considering how many phone booths we've got now. Holy crap, we have a lot of phone booths. So we'll look into connecting more of those. For now, we'll just tap these, and we'll look into adding all the DOS servers next episode. For now, I kind of want to get this new chapel up and running. So altar is going to go right there. I think that's the right way around. I'm not actually too sure. And we'll put down the pews facing the right way, like this. We're going to have so much more space for people to come and get spiritual guidance. We'll put down the prayer mats. I guess we're going to double up on prayer mats like this. I don't know if that matters all too much. We'll do that. We can get rid of all of the planning in there. And then we will also throw down a couple of lights to make sure that this place is actually visible during the day. And we should probably, I think, get a guard in here as well, just because of how many prisoners are going to kind of be congregated all in this one place. We have a guard who's going to patrol backwards and forwards to the chapel there. That's going to be fine. We need some lights over here. Look at it. People are already in here. There's nothing in here yet. And people are already, they're so dedicated to their chapel that they want to be in here already. Flipping, what's that, guys? All right, we'll do this. We'll run you in there, you in there. We'll run this up here and up here so we can get power to all of the rooms within our new block here. The common room does need some lights, so let's go ahead and I guess put some in the corners like this, this, and this. Does that work? Yeah, it kind of works. We'll throw down a few pool tables. We'll have like one there, one there. We'll put like a couple of wide sofas, I guess like facing this way, I guess. We'll have like that. That doesn't really work, does it? That? Sure. And then, you know what? We'll have another nice big TV. Where's the TV at? Large TV. We're going to have another nice large TV. It's going to go right there. And then we're going to put a bunch of chairs in front of it again so that all of our prisoners can just come and sit down and watch TV until their heart's content. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so there. And I guess we could probably put some... I don't know if we should go right up to the TV, but you know what? We'll do like this. as well. We'll have like a few extra chairs right at the back there because we do have a lot of prisoners in medium security. They need a lot of space to watch their TV. These couches are going to be for watching pool happen, if that's like the kind of thing that you're into. We got a bunch of phone booths if they want to call their family, and then finally, you know what, we'll put down one, like I think our first ever radio right there. If this guy, whoever's sitting in this chair, if they want to listen to the radio, they can listen to the radio. Flipping heck. And then infirmary as well needs some lights. We'll put lights again. Actually, we'll go with the same pattern that we've got in the common room. We'll put them all there, and then we'll have like medical beds going all the way along the top here. Hopefully, this fits in nicely. Oh, look at that. It fits in perfectly. I love it. All right, and then we'll do the same thing like here. We'll have a bit of a gap in the middle, I guess, to make room. Oh, look at this. Look at how many prisoners we are going to be able to keep in this infirmary. It is going to be fantastic. Okay, I love it. All right. We're not going to get rid of this infirmary yet. I am going to send some doctors to the new infirmary. So you guys are going to go and work in there. Did that work? It did. So we're going to send like 3 doctors to go work in the new infirmary. The only reason I'm not getting rid of this infirmary is because as of right now, it's the only infirmary accessible by maximum and minimum security. And so if we get rid of that, I don't know if there's anywhere that they'll be able to go. I'm hoping by just putting these guys in here, they will stay in here. Although it looks like... No, yeah, that looks fine. I thought they were going to go back, like try and walk back to their old infirmary. But that looks fine. Let's do a quick shakedown. It's 11:30. It's about time that we found another tunnel. We are going to have to make our laundry rooms bigger yet again because even though we've made them bigger recently, we're getting so many new prisoners, and especially if we want to try and get up to that 500 prisoner capacity, we are more than certainly going to have to make some bigger laundry rooms and showers as well. We are really tight on showers right now. It's crazy. So we're going to move the shakedown here. Next episode, we're going to come back. Oh my gosh, the doctor is in. What? We've been getting reports of sickness from a number of prisoners. It might be worth identifying and quarantining the infected to stop it from spreading. And the warden as well? A water pipe has burst. It's flooding the area. Fix it. Okay, that's fine. I can fix the water pipe. As for the prisoner, that's one that I haven't had before. Where is this broken water pipe? Which pipe has broken? Is it this pipe? Like I can see it's in. Oh, is it there? Is it that pipe right? There it is. Okay, so we'll fix that. Like I said, next episode we'll come back. I guess we're going to try and find our infected prisoners. I have no idea what we're supposed to do with, like, to find them or to do with that. But we'll try and find our infected prisoners. Is this guy infected? No, he's fine. We'll try and find our infected prisoners. We'll connect up some of those door servers so we can start automatically opening up all of the doors. We'll get the office set up here so we can actually start getting the Alcoholics, like, Anonymous group up and running as well as the Behavioral Reform Program. I cannot remember the names of these to save my life. Let's have a look. We'll get the Behavioral Therapy and the Alcoholics group therapy up and running with the psychologist. And I think we also need to set up some road gates here. I actually noticed that just recently. We got these road gates so we can put, like, here to limit the vehicles that come in. So we have like a vehicle come in, then we close the gates, we let everybody out. Because right now, all of our prisoners, they get off the prison bus, and then we just kind of hope that they don't run off into the distance. So we should probably set up like a fence on this side, and also some road gates to try and keep everything as like enclosed and locked in as possible. Boom! For now, guys, I'm going to end this episode of Prison Architect there. As always, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to like. It really does help out a lot. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.